Batman Arkham City, but can you beat it without throwing a single punch? Is it even possible? It's just going to be me and Batman's entire arsenal of gadgets. Henchmen are about to be launched into orbit, RKO'd, get hit with a slip-on-a-banana R-type batarangs, and treated like a human fleshlight. Speaking of which, after my diddy-diddling antics in Arkham Asylum, I've been thrown in jail, lying there in 4K while getting absolutely shit on harder than the Assassin's Creed franchise. Whilst this is happening, I'll explain the rules. No punching, no countering, no farting, and definitely no riding them like a cheap hooker type takedowns. But come pump and dump takedowns, ledge takedowns, smacking two goons' heads together like a pair of coconuts, those are allowed. Also Catwoman, cause her ass is eating that leather. Her and her infinite crotch melon takedowns will not be played. It's just me and Batman, baby. Speaking of which, whilst getting treated like the Assassin's Creed franchise, I had no choice but to counter. This whole segment is just why here, why there, the Y button getting smashed harder than Bonnie Blue. So rounding it up to 1 strike and 9 counters had me like, oh my god. But then I realised I could avoid fighting Penguin's goons entirely. With a little cheese. Rolling onto these trash bags in a certain way can defy the laws of physics, but Jesus Christ does it twist my tipples trying to pull this off. But once you do, it can propel you onto the bins, skipping the fight. But finally suiting up, I have access to the most OP weapon since the Uno reverse card. The explosive gel. The explosive gel. However, the devs decided to deep-throat me. It got nerfed harder than Tracer's ass in Overwatch. So no matter how many times I ragged all these thugs across the map, they just kept getting back up again. Running away with the feelings of anxiety and depression, I knew that I needed a new move. A technique so powerful that it could rival the throat goat skills of the Glizzy Glazer. And that's when I discovered it. The kiss of sexual confusion.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
So life had never been better. Every enemy that stood on business got a taste of my cherry chapstick. With Harvey Dent shooting from the podium, I found my sweet spot beneath him, then treated him like a black man in the early 50s. After trying to rizz up the goth baddie, 10 out of 10 would suck her mama milkers, I ran into Harley Quinn. Let me tell you something, with an ass built like an onion, all I wanted to do was cry. As for those 4 sexy guys, let's just say I took a little detour to Browntown. I was about as reckless as an Asian behind the wheel. But when I stepped into the Joker's steel mill, something felt off. It was too easy. Guys were practically throwing themselves at me, desperate for a kiss, and once again, in the stealth sections, I found myself back in my natural habitat. The backshot bandit was back, baby. Nobody was safe.
The door's welded shut and he's just...
Until I got hit with a pinky sandwich special, right into my mouth. Yum. Bro munched on my batarangs like a snack and hammered me harder than a barn door in a storm. So I did what had to be done. Handled him like a woman who just won't stop talking back, and added 14 punches to my counter. Finally reaching Joker, I was Bill Cosby'd, and when I woke up, my asshole was looking like a kangaroo's pouch. Humiliated and thrown out of a window, I crashed harder than Kobe's helicopter. And when I came to, the Joker was sending me edgy memes. But there are 2 things I just couldn't ignore. First, Batman would make an exceptional chiropractor, and second, the inmates had a knack for PDF file slapping me in mid-kiss animation, keeping my health bar in a perpetual state of I've got nothing left. Trying to seal the deal with a little smooch was starting to make me tweak, so I knew it was time to upgrade my combat armor. I could now last a bit longer in combat sections, but stealth sections, I was an absolute menace. Bro is straight up eating that dick in 4K. After fisting the Penguin's last signal jammer, how the last guy in the back of the queue felt like to finger Bonnie Blue, I thought I was prepared for anything. But what came next, my punch counter was never going to recover from. Walking into the Iceberg Lounge, getting hit with a FNAF ad jump scare like a van door straight to the head. 3 inmates blocked the entrance, one of which got me like bro. I couldn't use smoke bombs to slip past, and I couldn't glide in. There were only 2 options: stay deep into the abyss of his asshole, or put more hands on him than a church choir boy. I chose neither. Instead, I gave him a one-way ticket to Browntown Express and finished him off with a sucky suck special. And the Dyson suck special is just a ground takedown, so just 1 punch to the meat missile. But once I stepped into the arena, the Penguin was about to learn an ancient lesson. Fuck around.
Find out.
Most of these guys only needed 1 kiss to go night-night.
Now kiss me!
But then there was the Titan. He covered his mouth like Gihan from Squid Games.
I play these games!
That meant batarangs were about as useful as shoes on a paraplegic, and explosive gel got him hitting the fentanyl overdose emote. After landing 7 punches, he took a knee from Mr. Floyd.
The sun's getting real low!
But I finished him off with the 8-piece chiropractor special. This was only the beginning. The skin on my ballsack was getting tighter, getting the texture of an orange peel, you know? And I knew this challenge was about to take an absolute ass spreading. I was afraid, and as I had to perform yet another sucky special on another inmate, and punching a giant shark 4 times, my empathy was starting to fade.
Are you from the 13th precinct?
Help me!
You wait here and try to warm up.
Getting lifted like a newborn and launched had my anus screwed in. Dropping 14 punches had me feeling like Shrek with his U's down. Then there was Mr. Freeze. Fresh off attending a Diddy party, bro was walking like he had taken more rails than the train station. He was cooked. My challenge was cooked. And with Penguin hiding behind that bubble shield, my batarangs also cooked. So I did the only thing I could. But my victory royale was short-lived. The Penguin had me toppling faster than the South Tower, and I landed right in the waiting arms of Solomon Grundy. Ah, for God's sake. But bro is just farming that aura. Solomon Grundy had 2 big balls, but since I'm a professional ball juggler, taking 2 big balls to the face, I enjoyed it. Hell, I loved it. Solomon Grundy in total ate 28 punches like the itty-bitty titties, while the Penguin 1 punch and a throw so hard it caused generational trauma. Upon following a trail of blood and used maxi pads, it led me straight to an assassin staying at my package. Although my package is that delicious, I still needed a counter. However, I was soon in the sewers, and every enemy who dared to sniff a stink between my cheeks would be straight up murdered. Yeah, I was a menace. But I was stumbling around, coughing up blood. I'm dying, sister. Bro thinks he's Arthur Morgan. I needed to find a cure fast, and that's when I was taking more hits than Chris Benoit's family. Being unable to move, health saying, I'm tired, boss, I added another counter. But meeting another baddie, 10 out of 10 would let her satisfy my humiliation pen. Bro, let me speak! Then hearing something I often hear in real life.
Your face. What happened?
Buzz Lightyear!
Drinking from a cup that was left unattended, I started tripping harder than a young woman at Bill Cosby's house. After trying to rizz me up,
Your next task is simple. Touch me.
I was soon having to deal with a punch counter, facing another absolute railing. Again. Dropping in like he just hit that Thor ultimate, Rachel Ghoul was on me like Levi Ackerman. Bro wouldn't stop for 2 minutes, y'all killing me with his shit. But this again was only the beginning. My anus was starting to get the squirts, and having getting killed over and over, I was left tweaking. With Rachel Ghoul constantly combining that Thor and Bucky ultimate, being unable to get away from him like he just activated that Shrek kissing filter, and with men about to put more holes in me than a Catholic priest alibi and a block of Swiss cheese, it got me feeling like Star-Lord. So I did what I had to. 63 counters, 10 punches with an added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fuck it, whatever, 3 bonks to the forehead, and 1 big ass beatdown coming up. I realized that this challenge is cooked. I'm cooked. This elderly man who was sniffing a stink between my cheeks is cooked. And after Mr. Freeze death grips my cure, he's cooked. Dodging that first ice blast with my baby god damn, it's gonna make me cry. But then I realized jumping on Mr. Freeze ass first only had him on his knees like he was about to go for that timeout. And just for that, he gets the 5 big boom special. However, Mr. Freeze requires 5 takedowns, meaning 25 big booms in total. And just for shits and giggles, I give him the 8-piece car window punch special. But with the cure to the Joker's semen coursing through my anus being phantom taxed, this was my last stand. And any enemy that dared to get in proximity of the ring around my rim would be delivered backshots and RKOs. As I navigated through the steel mill, one thing quickly became clear.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Picked the wrong house I have, with landmines blowing me harder than a glory hole at a dodgy public toilet and getting my ass roasted like Uncle Lightyear.
You look terrible.
I realised that everyone says, where's Batman? But never, how's Batman? On the flip side, I'm a mentally ill man on death's door with nothing left to lose. There were 2 enemies in this section I had to give the classic sloppy toppy to. Although I hated it, it had to be done. But finally reaching the Joker, he wanted to kick my ass 101. Being built like a malnutritioned Holocaust survivor, I rubbed Schlong on face and gave him 3 open mouth kisses with eye contact before he buckled like a fat woman's knee. But the Joker's cheeks let out a mighty roar, calling all enemies, and with Titans spawning in,
I play these games!
one-armed units hammering my cheeks together, stronger than a kid in a short bus holding his favourite crayon. No amount of trains could stop the Titans, and no amount of Batman getting treated like a speed bump could stop them either. My health bar was screaming for dear life, and my ass cheeks got ran through more than the finisher line at a London marathon. So whilst I'm having to perform 24 punches, Hugo Strange then decides to join the chat, and he straight up unlocked the attack helicopter killstreak reward. I was dying in 4K, and just when I thought it was over, I got saved by the Mama Milkers herself.
I think I chipped a nail back there.
But getting to Hugo Strange led me to having my own Captain America elevator moment. So before we get started, does anyone want to get out? But I was still catching cheeky fists in my mouth, causing me to tweak all over again. These new henchmen, they weren't going down with 1 little smooch. 2 smooches minimum. And even with my entire arsenal strapped to my asshole, I was still catching those big, sexy, meaty fists lodged right into my oral cavity. Or maybe a foot planted right between my cheeks. But I liked it. Hell, I loved it. Climbing to the highest room of the tallest tower, I had to give 2 guards the good old sucky suck job special. So 2 punches right into the penis, followed by a little smooch to the tip, and came to the realization that these guys in the stealth section couldn't even see me. Like, bruh, I'm right in your face. After performing some zesty backshots and locking eyes with Hugo Strange, Ra's al Ghul penetrates him. Wait, where the fuck did he just come from? Jealous, he took over, and I acted brash. I lunged straight for his gooch, to which Ra's al Ghul tried to penetrate me. But no thank you, sir. I take my penetrations from the back. But ODST dropping back in, the Joker was straight up kidnapping my girl and guarding the theatre. And every enemy that stood in my way felt every square inch of my meat muscle pressing up against their poop chute. Yeah, I was a serial molester who was about to spread the Joker's cheeks like a bit of old firewood. So dodging that first strike like the twerk tyrant that I am, I wiped the white crusticles from the corner of my glory hole, as there's 2 segments to the Clayface fight, and each segment I can use a sword or a farm and get Clayface to literally deep throat me. But actually, using a sword isn't punching, so capping it off with 224 punches and counters, I had one thought. We're absolutely cooked, chat.